Hi, this is Yvette from My World of Metaphysics, bringing you another law of attraction metaphysical lesson. So what we're going to talk about today is how to get rid of those negative people out of your life for good. Yes, I know each and every one of you watching this video at one time or another had a problem. Now, I'm not talking about everyday problems, people, because you know what? We're always going to go through something in our lives. It's part of growth. It's part of being human, having a human experience. We just have to learn how to deal and how to cope with those situations so that we can actually limit how many times it appears in our lives. Now, I've been there. I'm sure you've been there. We've all been there. It's how you deal with the situation which determines how it's going to play out in your life at that moment and in the future. Because remember, you guys, we are deliberate creators. So we all know we get what we attract. So you don't want to go through a bad experience and then attract it again. So what I want you to do is don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to hit that bell, hit that like sign, so that I can bring you more of the videos that help change your life. Now, let's get to it. This is a quick video, but this is a powerful, powerful, powerful technique to help you out in your time of troubles. This video is not for the everyday things that go on in your life. I'm talking about you just can't get that person to leave you alone, and you don't want to resort to violence. That's not the way to go. You just want that person just to leave you alone. You don't care if that person moves to another state. You just want that person out of your life. That's what this video is for. When you tried everything to stop this person from bothering you, and it just does not work. Now, that happened to me plenty of times. But you know what, people? I always know how to take care of them. So watch it. So listen, this is a harmless technique that I'm going to show you to help you rid people in your lives that are negative, that are bringing the negative energy to you, that just ruins your day. When you go home, you just feel like you just want to throw up because of all the emotions that this person is putting in on you. This is the video. Let's get rid of them for once and for all. I'm telling you to be a little patient, keep your thoughts positive, and let's get rid of them. Now, what I want to show you is the freezing technique. There's plenty of techniques, but today I want to show you the freezing technique. There's two ways of doing it, but for right now, I want to show you the technique that I will use if it came down to the point that I'm going home upset every single day because this person won't leave me alone. Okay, now what I would do is the supplies that I would tell you to get is a bottle, a little small bottle. Doesn't matter how big it is, but this size will do. You can get these in Michael's or any craft store or even the dollar store. I think these came from the dollar store, or these came from the dollar store, and these came from Michael's. It doesn't matter where you go. You can get these for $1. I think you could even get these for like 2 for $1 or 3 for $1 in the dollar store. Okay, so you're gonna get a jar, a mason jar. Either way you want to do it. Let's take a quick look at it. This one right here has the clamp on it. Okay, and you're going to get yourself some paper. I like to use parchment paper, but you don't have to. But just make sure it's just clear, like white paper. White paper, I prefer without the lines, but if it has the lines, that's okay. Parchment paper you can buy from any craft store, or you can go to any religious store and ask for parchment paper. The next thing I'm going to tell you to do, and I tell you guys always, is to use, I have a pencil, but I want you to use for this one, blue ink. Now, I don't care if it's a pencil or blue ink, but I prefer for it to be one or the other. Again, blue is calming, okay? Very calming. The pencil is very natural. So If you have to use black ink, red ink, hey look. But for me, I'm telling you to use blue ink most of the time when you're doing your spiritual work, or a pencil, okay? The next thing I'm going to tell you to use is have a glass of water. I like to use filtered water or bottled water, whatever, but tap water would work, so it doesn't matter. The next thing I tell you for any spiritual work that you're doing before you get started, I use Florida water. I usually cleanse my hands, but it's okay just to wash your hands. And the last thing I'm going to show you that you will need if this person really, really, really will not leave you alone. And that is blue dye. You can go to any craft store and buy blue dye. Like I said, this is not something you're going to use and do every day. This is one of those things that you just can't stomach it anymore. This person will not leave you alone, either destroying your name, or this person is just talking about you, threatening you, and just won't leave you alone. I call it that bully. Okay, so now what I want you to do. Always, for myself, make sure your hands are cleansed. So I use the Florida water to cleanse my hands. Okay? I always cleanse my hands. Sometimes I cleanse my whole body, okay? It's up to you. You don't really have to do anything. It's the technique that's going to work, okay? Now, in this jar, on this paper, you are going to write that person's name. You're going to write that person's name on this paper, okay? If you don't know the person's name, write the situation. Don't try to be so wordy, okay? Because we have to fit it in this jar. You're going to write down that person's name. Now, what I would do, after I wrote that person's name, I would turn it clockwise, 180 degrees, and write across it, leave me alone. You could be creative on whatever you want to do, but make it stand out. Leave me alone. Shut up. Leave me alone. Get out of my life. However, you allow your feelings to write on this paper. You write that person's name out. You can even write, leave me alone, stop doing such and such, get out of my life. But I want you to write it over that person's name, okay? If you don't want to do all of that, you can actually just write that person's name. But while you're writing that person's name, I want you to think about that situation, what you want that person to actually do, and that is leave you alone. After you write the person's name on the paper, I want you to fold the paper up. Okay? So whatever you wrote is on the inside. I want you to put it in the jar. Okay? Now we're really not going to do this, okay? But I'm just showing you. You're then, if you want to, you could bless this water and say whatever you want to say. Leave me alone or whatever, okay? I usually rub my hands together, hold the glass. You imbue in this water what it is you want to stop. Don't put negativity in this. You really want to state what you want done, and that would be this person leaving you alone. You can actually imagine in your mind, visualize this person packing up and leaving you alone, okay? You're then going to pour this water in this jug with the paper in there. Okay? You're going to seal it up. And you could put it, seal it up. You could put it in a plastic bag, and you're going to put it in the freezer. And you're going to leave it. Now, sometimes people just need a double whammy. And I've been there, believe me. That's where the blue ink come in at. After you fill this up halfway or 3/4 of the way with water, I then want you to pour into it. Maybe you could put half water in here or 3/4 water, and the last quarter of the water, I want you to put the blue dye in the cup, in the jar. I want you to put it in the jar. So it's going to be like this. Do you see this? This is the blue ink in the water, and this piece of paper would be inside the water with the blue ink. You're then going to seal this up. You're going to put it in a plastic bag, and you are going to put it in your freezer. Okay, let me give you the science behind what you just did. You just took your feelings about this person that's messing with you, and you just put it on this paper. And you put your feelings in it by writing what the person was doing, by telling the person to shut up, more like shut up. That's what I would write. I would write the person's name, and I would just say, shut up, leave me alone, whatever. That's what I would do, okay, across the name. You then, your feelings are in it. The person's name is in it. If you have the person's date of birth, you can put that on here too. You're then going to fold it up into a small paper. Now listen, the water is your connection to that person. It's the sea of life. It represents that person. It's the connection between you and that person. Okay, so the water, emotions, and it's the connection to that person that's bothering you, that's harassing you. Now, the blue ink or the blue dye is the calming solution to the whole situation. Whatever's on here, the blue dye represents calming the whole situation down. Freezing it freezes their butt right in their tracks. Whatever the situation is, it freezes them in their tracks. You don't want to harm anybody or anything. You just want this person or these people to leave you alone. So you put it in the freezer, you put it in a plastic bag, you put it all the way in the back of the freezer, you put all that's inside of you in this jar, and you let it go. You go about your day as if everything is okay, and let it go. Keep your thoughts positive, because again, like I told you, we attract situations in our lives, okay? You have to work on yourself also to find out how did you attract this situation in your life, regardless to the point. It could be that bad boyfriend, that friend, whatever situation at your job the whole time. Watch your inner thoughts, because you are attracting this. But okay, now that you attracted this in your life, how are you going to get rid of this situation? By keeping your thoughts positive. But at the same time, you just once in a while going to run into that person that you just can't stand. You just can't put up with it anymore. You don't want to hurt that person. You don't want to get in a fight, but you just want that person to leave you alone so you can have a peace of mind. You do the freezing technique on this person, and you freeze their butts right in that freezer to stay out of your life and leave you alone. Sometimes in your life, you run into these people that just have nothing better to do than to try to make other people's lives miserable. Now listen, you attracted that person in your life somehow. So now you have to stay positive at everything to get this person out of your life, but at the same time, you can also do the freezing technique to freeze this person out of your life or freeze them in their tracks. Now listen, not all the time do these people get out of your life, but the blue ink calms them down. It freezes them from doing whatever they're doing. So that don't be surprised that that person might just turn around and become your friend. The idea is to get the situation out of your life, and that's all we're worried about. If you like this video, please like it, please subscribe, and I'm telling you guys right now, hit that bell. And listen, you can follow me at myworldofmetaphysics.com. You can also follow me at store.myworldofmetaphysics.com, where you can buy crystals, metaphysical products. I'm also doing one-on-one coaching at myworldofmetaphysics.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Again, this is Yvette from My World of Metaphysics, signing out. Namaste.